Stefanos Tsitsipas reflected on his worst match at the US Open ahead of his campaign in Stockholm this week. Stefanos Tsitsipas has explained how he fell back in love with tennis after producing one of the worst performances of his career at the US Open. The world number 5 suffered an uncharacteristic 6-0, 6-1-3, 6-7-5 defeat to world number 72 Daniel Galan, but has since bounced back and recently reached the final of the Astana Open. Tsitsipas has experienced mixed results this season. Defending his Monte Carlo Masters crown in April and winning the Mallorca ATP 250 in June. The 24-year-old also started the year strong by reaching the semi-finals at the Australian Open but had a tough time at the rest of the majors this year, making the second week of the French Open before suffering a third-round defeat at Wimbledon and losing his US Open opening round. The Flushing Meadows defeat was disappointing for the Greek after he arrived in New York fresh off the back of a run to the Masters 1000 final in Cincinnati, where he lost to Borna Coric in the championship match. Despite looking in form, Tsitsipas went down to then world number 94 Galan, winning just one game in the first two sets. The 9-time title winner has now opened up on the emotional rollercoaster that has been the last few weeks of his season. Explaining how he managed to fall back in love with tennis after his crushing US Open defeat. "I would call them, the last few weeks, an emotional roller coaster," he said on Swedish TV ahead of this week's Stockholm Open. Starting off with the US Open, which was probably one of the worst performances so far of my career. That particular match, I didn't feel like myself at all on the court that day. The world number 5 has since turned things around after a tough Laver Cup weekend that saw him lose to Frances Tiafoe in a match that handed Team World their first ever victory in the 5-year history of the tournament. Quote, "The last couple of weeks have been great, it's been a big transformation in terms of my psychological state," Tsitsipas said. "In terms of my love for the game as well. I've been much more in love with what I do. I feel much more connected with it. I feel much more happy to be out there on court and working every single day, which is extremely important for me because this is what I do for a living. I really like the state of mind that I am at currently."